This is Industry Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we analyze a different industry. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about the rehab industry. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hey there, Aluxers. Today we're talking about the most used word in the English dictionary. Although the word addictive or addiction is widely used in today's vocabulary, they have different meanings for people struggling with substance abuse. The rehab industry is there to offer emotional support and methods to get your life together after an accident, a traumatic experience, drug overdose, emotional breakdown, and so on. When things get out of hand, specialized help needs to step in, and for that reason, rehab centers were invented. They're a place to heal and also a money-making industry. Nowadays, rehab seems to be on everyone's agenda by the time they're 30 and costing thousands of dollars per month, non-refundable. Rehab becomes a luxury more than a facility. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Number 1. There's less than a 30% chance of getting better. Although rehab might seem to be the answer for a lot of problems, especially addiction, most facilities and the methods they use are not very successful. Research shows that someone going into rehab and all those 12-step programs has a very high chance of relapse, in fact, over 60%. Even though you pay thousands of dollars a month there, they can't guarantee that when you're finished with the program, all your problems will go away. They say it's a part of recovery, but maybe they need to perfect the methods and focus more on the root causes of the problem, not just the symptoms. Number 2. A month in rehab can cost up to $75,000. Getting back on track after addiction or trauma is not easy or cheap. Rehab centers are a great place to escape old habits or a toxic environment, but they're also going to charge you a few $1,000s for that luxury. They can't promise you certain results, but it's worth a shot. CEOs and rich people are targeted separately with high-end luxury rehab centers that cost between $35,000 and $75,000 per month, non-refundable. These centers offer gourmet food, individual suites, swimming pools, and make you feel like you're on a retreat holiday. Number 3. Thailand is now targeting rehab patients. Rehab centers are meant to isolate you from the world. They're often located in the woods or somewhere far enough from civilization so that escaping becomes tough. The new hip destination for rehab is Thailand. Their vast jungles and villas are fitted for medical tourism. Because Thailand is way cheaper than America or Europe, people seem to be more interested in their rehab centers. In 2017 alone, Thailand made over $1.3 billion just from these facilities, and they're now accepting patients in their temples as well. Number 4. Promises Malibu is the luxury rehab most celebrities go to. Celebrities are probably the best clients you could have at a rehab center. They have lots of money and lots of problems. If you do your job right and respect their privacy, then you're in for some serious business. Promises Rehab Center in Malibu is celebrities' favorite spot. They have treated Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Charlie Sheen, and Demi Lovato. With such a lineup in their resume, patients will keep on coming no matter the price. Having a wide range of treatments and alternative therapies, a month at Promises Malibu will cost you $55,000. Number 5. The rehab industry is worth over $35 billion. The rehab industry spends some serious cash. It's said to be worth around $35 billion and growing. Apparently, since the 1930s, not much has changed as far as rehab treatments go, so a lot of people feel a wave of disruption coming along the way. In the US, there are over 23 million people addicted to alcohol and other drugs, but only 11% of them are admitted to rehab. So there's room for more facilities, both affordable and luxurious, because addiction does not discriminate. Number 6. Rehab meds have fluctuating prices up to 500%. Depending on the rehab center you go to, they can use different practices and therapies. Addiction can be cured, but it takes a lot of willpower and some strong medicines for it. These days, rehab centers are struggling with a shortage of meds, and that concerns everyone. If the demand is too high, prices of certain medications can rise up to 500%, putting centers at risk of asking patients for more money or trying to find all sorts of alternatives. Sad times for this industry and for its patients, since rehab is often not covered by medical insurance. Number 7. A crypto billionaire died in rehab. 2017 was not a good year as far as life expectancy goes. A lot of famous people died, and also some billionaires. One of them, Matthew Mellon, had become the latest victim of the opioid crisis sweeping across America. Matthew was spending over $100,000 a month on OxyContin, and he died while visiting a rehab center in Cancun, Mexico. He was a well-known billionaire after turning a $2 million investment in Ripple into $1 billion. Now everything will be passed on to his 3 children. Number 8. Rehab may actually be the cause of so many deaths. Have you ever thought about why so many people die in rehab? How can a safe environment where you're supposed to heal kill you? Famous people like Amy Winehouse or Corey Monteith have died in rehab, and now people are beginning to think the centers are actually the problem, not the addiction. The fact they are trying to keep you sober can severely affect your tolerance and therefore induce overdoses easily. The 12-step program and abstinence may be killing more people than saving them. So what do you do now? Is rehab good or not? Number 9. Pre-rehab is the new rehab. As we mentioned earlier, rehab can be useful for different needs, including post-op. And because any kind of surgery will stress your body and put you out of business for months, doctors are now prescribing prehab to speed up the recovery. It's a new concept that only a few doctors and hospitals have prescribed, and if it shows significant results, it might scale worldwide. Prehab consists of a combination of exercise, education, and psychological support in the months before an operation. It's all about prevention and being aware of what you're getting yourself into. Sounds pretty legit. Number 10. The most expensive rehab center is in Switzerland. As expected, everything that's in Switzerland is expensive. Not even rehab centers are affordable there. You can call it the Ritz-Carlton of rehabs, and it wouldn't even be wrong. Just for a week there, you have to pay $100,000, more than any other rehab center in America. So, who would go to such an expensive rehab, you ask? George Michael, the ultimate mega pop star. The facility is treating patients from drugs and alcohol abuse, eating disorders, depression, or trauma by using massage, psychotherapy, yoga, and private counselors. It's called the Kusnacht practice, and they're supposed to be the world's most exclusive rehabilitation center. Are you curious about this country, Alexers? Then we have the perfect video for you. 15 things you didn't know about Switzerland. Just click on the top right corner to check it out. Number 11. Some rehab centers don't have doctors. Because more and more people are in need of rehab, new centers are being opened all over the world. And because there isn't enough research to show which treatments should be used, some centers develop their own methods, most of the time focused on alternative medicines. Non-traditional treatment methods such as Reiki, acupuncture, or yoga are very good for relaxation and clearing your mind, but sometimes they're not enough to make you quit drugs, nicotine, or alcohol. The root of the problem lies deep in your brain and subconscious, and for that you need real doctors and professionals. Not everyone wearing a white robe is a doctor. Just keep that in mind. Number 12. Some luxury rehab centers only look good on TV. Because the law allows, meds and rehab centers are now advertised on television. But of course, no company would ever say something bad, and most will only focus on the highlights and success stories. But there's a dark side of rehab centers, even the expensive ones. Some of them invest so much money in marketing and decor, by the time the patients are coming, they don't have any resources to treat them accordingly. So before you submit yourself or a loved one, do your research. Not everything you see on TV is real. Number 13. Those famous AA meetings don't work for most people. We are all familiar with AA meetings, what they stand for, and how they work. In most rehab centers, there are some forms of group meetings. This famous technique that's supposed to help people stay sober and motivate each other doesn't really work for everyone. In order for the meeting to be successful, it needs to be moderated by a therapist and keep people accountable for their presence. Unless the rehab center really cares about its patients, it can become a form of forced meeting where people dread being there and are daydreaming until it's over. Number 14. Canada wants to treat substance abuse with laughter therapy. Most rehab centers try to sober up patients by pumping them full of medicine or relaxing activities. Although that might work, a new facility in Canada wants to change the game and treat patients with laughter therapy. That's right, laughing your way out of addiction. Laughing produces the same reaction in the brain as many drugs do, so there's a chance this could actually work. On the other hand, patients might not be responsive to certain humor, and they might need a little push to learn to let loose and laugh a little bit. Number 15. Almost all US presidents were fighting some sort of addiction. America has always been battling addiction and substance abuse from their very beginning. Even the founding fathers were addicted to alcohol and opioids to cope with everyday life and presidency. More than 80% of the US presidents have been struggling with substance abuse. From George Washington to Franklin Roosevelt to Obama, they all had their own vices. Being the president of such a great economical power is not an easy job. Well, Aluxers, as you've witnessed, an industry that is there to help people also has a hidden side too. Whether it's a case of bad apple, good tree, or good apple, bad tree, we don't really know for sure, but the facts show rehab is just a step in a long process of recovery. No X-step program in medicine can really cure trauma or addiction. Not even time can really heal it. Do you guys think rehab is needed or just a waste of money? Let us know what you think in the comments. And as always, for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus fact, you true Aluxer. Number 16. Addiction apps might help you to get sober. Is there anything that hasn't been touched by technology yet? Everything is now highly linked to modern technology, and companies are trying to come up with an app for everything. Yes, there are apps to help you with addiction, designed by clinical researchers. Some apps are seeking FDA approval, so they can be safe to use by anyone with a smartphone. Curbing addiction is a matter of habit, and since we spend so much time on our phones, we might as well do it with purpose. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.